Welcome to Dad Bod's Crab Cakes and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insights on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome this evening. And if you're listening to us, and I guess you're not going to work tomorrow because it's Memorial Day, but if you have to, I'm sorry to hear that. But welcome to the circus that I think Mike has created here for us this evening. We have several special guests to go over.
Special. That's a nice word.
Very special children, let me tell you. Okay, we have here lacrosse experts, and I say that like
guys in is what happens.
Let's go.
Right.
Experts. There it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
So look at you all special lacrosse experts.
Sure.
All right, so we have this evening, we have Doug Testerman, Greg Spacek, and if you're watching us, you'll see that Dustin has the same last name as me. That is correct.
Not on
he
purpose.
is the more athletic, but yet uglier brother of myself.
Okay,
So,
getting interesting.
so
Shots fired
guys,
early.
Dustin, how was your Memorial Day today?
Well, we got one more day till we get there. But
That's true.
had
Weekend.
to spend the weekend at the in-laws, so you guys can guess how that went, and it was fine.
Fair
fine.
enough,
I'm
Greg.
fine. I'm good.
Greg, how's it going over there?
It's going good. I'm down in Lake Anna, Virginia right now. I'm literally on a balcony. So that's why I can't show I tried to turn my camera on and it's not doing real well, so I just kept that off. But it's doing real well. But I watched a lot of lacrosse today, so that was fun.
Oh, fabulous. And Doug, how about you?
It's been a great day. Unfortunately, the D3 final wasn't a great game, so we quit watching that a while ago. But yeah, it's been a great day.
Oh, that's terrific. And John, Mike, good to see you. Any lovely stories I need to be aware of, Mike?
No, but if you hear chaos in the background of my studio, we have our first sleepover from the neighborhood kids tonight. So all hell might break loose here in a minute. So just want to give you all a heads up if that goes on. We had our annual Labor Day party at Mitch's house up the hill, where he opens up the garage to all the different goodies that he has, and then he fires up the campfire, and then apparently everybody came back to our place. So just giving you all a heads up.
I'm curious to what the goodies are. Can you please elaborate?
So the food I have put into my body today, I've had sausage, hot dog, deer meat, chicken, a burger. I've had sausage dip. I had 2 types of brownies and ice cream. I didn't eat the type of brownies that they were serving to the other people. There's just a lot going. There's a lot going on.
Yes, sir.
Today.
And beer.
You are in Maryland.
Oh my gosh. I made that mistake once. I accidentally had the brownie, the magical ones, and I went and put my kids to sleep, and I thought I was gone for 3 days, but I was actually gone for 10 minutes. It was the weirdest experience of my life. I'll never do it again.
That's another result.
Hey, Dustin,
John,
we do need to clarify something with Dustin though, because you were the star of our show. What Jason was that? Three shows ago? We need a little clarification about you going to the Preakness, appearing and your girlfriend you having to run to her house and steal the newspaper.
Guys. Hey, boy.
So I want to hear your side of this story now, because you spoke about this from your brother's point of view. So there's got to be his story, your story, and the truth somewhere there in the middle.
Yeah.
So Dustin, defend yourself.
No defense necessary. I mean, it was more or less just like a total show. First Preakness ever. Show up, tell my girlfriend, hey, I'm gonna head to West Virginia to go to the track with my parents, and didn't, obviously. Showed up real early, the morning of, drank. You know what? I've never drank an entire 30-pack in my entire life, but I'm pretty sure that day I did. But, dude, showed up, had a great time, probably took a 2-3 hour nap in the infield.
Nice.
Lost $400 on Barbaro, the only horse I ever put money on, and I freaking lost it all, dude. The horse broke its damn leg. I mean, somehow they didn't have to shoot the thing. But at the end of the day, it was a great time. What a blast. But then the next morning, my parents usher into my room with the newspaper and like, hey, you're on the front page of the newspaper. I'm like, what? No, that can't happen. But it did. And I literally had to rush over to my girlfriend's house at the time and take the newspaper away because I was like, I'm not supposed to be here, people. Like, are you kidding me? That doesn't happen to anybody.
When the newspaper was a thing, when you actually got a physical newspaper.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. That's
right,
like
right.
That's
How many years ago was that? Right.
But not only did I lose $400 on the horse that was supposed to win that almost got turned into glue, I'm on the front page of the newspaper, people. Like, come on. Like, this does not happen ever. So, yeah, man, it was insane.
Oh, it's a good time. John, good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
No, thanks, John. Thanks, John. Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you.
First and last time he's going to be here, Jason. He's like, Jason's just going to be telling my stories from my childhood, and man, I don't want to hear these.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to get John.
And you think Jason exaggerates, but now we know these are real stories, people.
Yeah, it's a true story, boys.
The story was spot on because we had Jimmy on talking about the Preakness and breaking down the horses, and then we talked about our experiences of going to the Preakness. Then we told, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot about that. We were all on the front page of the Baltimore Sun."
Crazy.
All your fault. You and Jimmy's fault. Totally, like almost ruined my life, but I'm better for it. So.
Well, you're not married to the woman, so it didn't ruin your life that much. So
it was like it all worked out the way it should.
You're welcome. You dodged that bullet.
Yeah,
all right, moving
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
All right. Well, now that we've bored like our entire listenership.
Oh, come on. Great story.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, anything else you guys want to talk about, Mike, John, before we get into what these guys are here to talk about?
No, people are here for our panel today of experts. So
panel of experts to break down so far so Doug, I'll start with you. Break down for me, like, what have you thought? What are your thoughts been so far on the Division I side of the NCAA tournament thus far?
So at this point, the championship game is going to be a decent game. However, from the quarterfinals on, this has been the best probably set of teams that I've seen in my 30 plus years of watching lacrosse. It's been the most even set teams. I mean, minus the Air Force and Maryland game, that was essentially a blowout. Every game's been 1-2 goals, overtime games. We've seen double overtime. We've seen games that just kind of went down to the wire. Obviously the Maryland-Syracuse game wasn't what it should have been. I mean, I think everybody thought that it was going to be something, a little bit more spectacular than it was. I mean, Maryland was up 8-1 at one point. However, the other game, the other side, Penn State Cornell, was a good game. So hopefully we're going to see a decent, 1-2 goal, maybe 3 goal game coming Monday.
Very good. And Greg, what are your thoughts so far?
It's been a great tournament for both women and men's, to be honest. Like I'm super excited to watch the men's game tomorrow. You give John Tillman a little bit of time, and he will plan for that. But what I can say is, if North Carolina showed it today, if you control the draw, you can you can control the whole game, and that's what Maryland needs to do tomorrow in order to beat Cornell, because Cornell is probably the best team in the bracket. As much as I hate to say that, but if you can control the ball, they will dominate that game. So that's where I would go with that.
Yeah, and Dust, as far as them putting the ball in the net, I mean, Cornell, it seems like, has been not only this tournament, but all year long, one of the best scoring teams in the country. And then Maryland so far this tournament has been the best defensive team in the.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, you look at a team like Cornell who, you got CJ Curse. If he has a game, it's going to be troubling, for Maryland. But I do believe that, Maryland is better at the X. And I think that, if they have a day and they do what they need to do at the X, everything else will take care of itself. Offense is great, but where I'm looking on the defensive side of the field. I think Maryland's defense is money, dude. Like I think they're keeping teams on an average of like 6.5 goals a game. You do that, you're going to win the game. Like, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens at the X. You're going to win the game. But I will say it's going to come down to the face-off X. I 100% agree with that. If whoever controls that spot is going to win the game. No, both teams are great offensively, But I don't think that's where this game's going to come down to. I really believe it's going to be on the defensive side. And let's not forget, like, Maryland's got the best goalie in the game right now, in my opinion. I mean, they are hot. That dude is crushing it. Fifth-year senior, just like playing out of his mind. So in my opinion, the keys of the game are win the face-off X and then play defense. And I think everything else will take care of itself. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I can't imagine this is going to be it's going to be a blowout on either side. I think we're going to come down to 1-2 goals, maybe even an overtime. I mean, who knows? But it's going to be exciting.
Right.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yep.
So let me play a little bit of video here, and I want you guys just to comment a little bit on the game from Saturday. I didn't watch it. I don't know, Jason and Mike, did you guys watch the game on Saturday?
Bits and pieces, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's why these guys are here.
That's right. All right, so let's play a couple video clips here.
You got from the Poughkeepsie area, and now Maryland. I want to run here. Stamos, Larkin puts one on cage. A.J. Larkin scored against Syracuse in February.
To the races with the other half of the 1-2 punch. It was Larkin, now McDonald, Quinn.
Clean stops mean clean runouts. And
of Eric Spanos, that move to get his hands free was sick. Left plant foot, whoop, right to the top side, increasing the angle. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, so I mean,
what do you guys think?
I mean, so that those are beautiful pictures and videos and all that, but honestly, the thing that's going to set Maryland apart, if they can win, is beating the Cornell 10-man ride. So if you look up clips of Cornell's game, they turn the ball over in their 10-man ride all the time. So that's how they were able to beat Penn State. Is they were even for a while, and then they shifted to the 10-man ride, and Penn State couldn't figure it out. So if Maryland can run in transition, they're going to have those goals where Spanos steps up field, or there's a pole goal or anything like that. However,
guy wide open
now with the 10-man ride, I'm a little. I as a Maryland fan, am concerned about their 10-man ride.
I don't disagree at all, but Maryland's dude, they ride hard too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got it together on their side as well. So again, that's why I say this game is going to be hot.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, I have a question for you guys as lacrosse guys, and you guys are using some terminology that maybe the common fan isn't familiar with. So, like, when I talk about ride, I think about jumping on the back of a horse.
Right.
So you guys are going to have to explain a little bit what you mean by ride, and then also it seemed like they were talking about transition from offense to defense and defense to offense. Maybe speak a little bit to that too.
Yeah, go ahead, Dustin. You can start.
Well, I mean, look, when it comes down to it, unsettled situations are what creates offense, what creates goals, right? So, if Maryland can get hot early, move the ball quickly, especially from, a ride perspective where, we're getting the ball on the defensive side of the field, we're getting it over the midfield line quickly, and we're moving the ball to our best offensive players, there's no stopping them. And you know what? Say the same about Cornell. I mean, no different. If you can ride hard, get the ball, create unsettled situations, you're gonna be successful. So that again, that's why this game's gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. So we're talking specifically the ride. So when you ride, that's a transition. When you transition from offense to defense, so your offense is supposed to try and turn the ball over when they have the ball and they get rid of it. When you go to a 10-man ride, you actually bring up a defenseman. So there's a close defenseman who there's three behind the midfield line. They play close defense, like they're close to the goal, right? So you bring one up and you send a midfielder back, and they're able to kind of play free safety, Ed Reed style, where they kind of roam in between the middle of the hashes, and you add an extra defender in the ride. And really what that does is, even if a team can clear it over the midfield line, you have two, maybe even three players who can double or triple team the ball when it crosses, and then transition it back to offense. So Cornell ride, their ride is special at this point. However, like Dustin was saying, Maryland's transition, their poles can handle the ball in between the lines. They can score, they can feed, they can do all kinds of things. So it certainly should be, they could break the 10-man ride and turn it into a fast break situation, or even a slow break situation. But yeah, definitely it's going to be fun.
Well, I'll chime in there, Doug, real quick. Because maybe it's different because I coach girls when you guys coach boys. But sometimes I tell the girls, like, we don't have to turn the ball over. We don't have to make them do that. Our job is to slow them down as much as possible. That's it.
Yep.
Don't be heroes. Slow the ball down. Let our defense settle. Bring them back. It's okay. And maybe Maryland just needs to do that. Like, settle down. Just
very true.
Stop them in their transition. Settle into defense, and then you can play a good game.
Right.
Great point. I mean, I can tell you, looking at Maryland, they play two different types. Like, I mean, it's John Tillman. Like, the dude's. There's nobody else, in my opinion, in the business that like prepares. He can prepare for this. Right. You know, and again, like, this dude can play New York style ball where it's run and gun, or he can slow it down like a Johns Hopkins. You know, and just pass it around, move it around the perimeter, and create offense that way. So that's why I think, you know, of course I'm biased, but that's why I think Maryland has a leg up here. They can be any team. They can play at any level or any game, you know? So again, I mean, good point.
So let me ask you guys about Cornell offensively, because the guy that I was looking at here, I have a video clip of this, of Hugh Kelleher. What do you guys know about him? I'll play this video and then let you guys talk about this. But
please,
with my research, you got to stop this guy somehow.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So you got to.
So was that video taken of his grandparents in the stand or something? Great job, John. Way to dig that one out.
All right. That was
really good for our listeners who didn't have any visual.
Yeah, well, hopefully people will listen and then now they'll start coming to watch because we'll have the videos. But he had a hat trick Saturday against Penn State, and I didn't see how many it was on the season, but I know that it's not his first.
So the thing with Cornell, they have 4 to 5 guys that carry their team, right? So CJ Kurse is about 108 points. Ryan Goldstein, who's an attackman, he's 89 points. And then you got Michael Long, he's 72. And you got another, the Willen, 84. So you got guys carrying their team. With Maryland, they just had their first 50-point scorer on Saturday. So Spanos just scored his 51st point on Saturday. So if you look at their roster, they are spread like top to bottom. You know, you got guys that are in the 20s, but it's 10 guys versus 4 guys. So if you can hold their 3-4 guys, you know, under 2 or 3 goals, Maryland can, you know, wind you down and long possessions and run the shot clock out. So truly it is a team versus 4 or 5 guys. And we've all played against those guys. You know, that team that shows up with 3-4 guys are really, really good. They're better than your 3-4 guys. But if you have a team, you usually win. So truly that's kind of what it comes down to.
I agree 100%, Doug.
Yeah.
Such a good point. I mean, you know, Cornell's got a hot attack. Like, that's been Maryland's issue, and it's been last year, probably the year before. Like, they haven't had one guy that has been like the guy. You know, Spanos is close, but still not putting up the points that you know that you're referring to.
Right.
They are like Cornell is very deep on the attack side. So if we give the ball up on the offensive side of the field, Cornell is going to hurt us. So if we can, you know, if Maryland can hold the ball on their side of the field and not make stupid mistakes, which again, come back to Tillman, he doesn't let his team make stupid mistakes. So I don't see that being an issue, but you are right, dude. Like, I 100% agree. If we do not control the ball and control the game and we give the ball to the attack on the offensive side of the field, it's going to be a long day.
It's a long day.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, hey, I got to ask the question that the world is begging to be answered. Why do some of these players get these giant long sticks and these other offensive players, they got to feel insecure at that point? Why they get this tiny little stick that they've got to use? So,
Mike, let me take that one real quick.
Oh, please, please.
So I had to play short stick, a defensive midfield in college. So I didn't even get to play the long stick. They told me, like, you can only do this. You didn't even get the long pole. You only get the short pole, pal. Okay.
You couldn't handle a long pole. You reached a short pole.
Exactly.
Greg, I'm so sorry to hear
My
that,
insecurity
Greg.
started a long time
Oh,
ago.
well, that one up, man.
You got to get back to the gym, bro. You know, you got to do some freaking curls.
Good news
you
for
know?
you, Greg. John doubles as a life coach, so he can help you out with that. So don't you worry.
You know what? My brain though, my brain works in the defensive mindset though.
Sure.
It's completely different.
Yep,
Like
it
when
is.
you get up there, when you get up to the college level, when you play, your
Yep.
brain is there's the offensive or defensive minded ish.
Sure.
And that's what you do.
Yep.
Right.
I agree with you, Greg.
So I knew my role. I got it, but I was no Doug Testerman. I'll tell you that much.
No. Greg, you were the best.
Hey, defense wins championships, boys.
That's what they say. And
That's
it's
what
true.
they say.
Exactly. Ask Maryland.
So, Dustin, I know you wanted to mention one of the players in Maryland that you have some skin in the game with. You guys that don't know, Dustin went to Calvert Hall, and Calvert Hall just won. Oh God, I've lost track.
MIAA championship.
Yep.
How many championships they won? But they were end of the year ranked number 1 in the country.
No. They were ranked number 2 to Spalding.
Yeah.
I was actually just looking at USA Today's most recent updates.
So it did.
They probably did now that they won.
They won.
Right. That's why I said ended the year.
Oh,
The year is now
hey,
over.
man, some of us are paying attention. Some aren't. Sorry. But yes, dude. Yeah, I mean, I had the privilege of being there. I got to win a championship in 2003. Just nothing like it in the world like this. Right. And I'll tell you, my own son, who's 10 years old right now, playing at a very high level, his goal is he wants to go to Calvert Hall, play there, and he wants to go to the Terps, be an All-American, play there. And I'm like, dude, I can show you the way. I got the people, I got the connections, but you gotta realize how hard you need to work. And what I mean by that is, I went to probably about 5 games this year, and their roster is deep. They got 45 guys on the team, right? For a high school team, that's ridiculous. All right. Mm-hmm. 45 guys on the team, 12 to 13 of the kids on the team actually play. So that's just how ridiculously competitive it is, and at this point I'm like, dude, JR, maybe you go to Calvert Hall, or maybe you go somewhere that is going to let you play. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, dude, they are insane. And, I got to play for Coach Kelly, who's a huge name in the business. And, we'll see what happens, dude. It's ridiculously crazy how competitive it is right now. And, I'm hoping for the best for him. But I will say, this is my plug. Daniel Kelly, Coach Kelly's, I think, 3rd or 4th son. He's still got one who is 12 years old coming up in the program. And God willing, JR gets to play for, Coach Kelly doesn't retire, and, he gets to play for him at some point. But this kid on Maryland, number 45, if he has 2 goals early, it's like, it's all over. I mean, anytime this kid scores early, we win. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but all season long, when I've seen this kid score early, for whatever reason, it's a game changer.
Nice.
Yep.
Excellent.
For sure.
Excellent. And okay, so before we get your guys' final predictions on who's going to win this game, if you guys have listened to the show before, you know how much Jason loves playing trivia. So I have some trivia questions for our guests, specifically to lacrosse. Okay, so I want to know if you guys can tell me, and you can raise your hand. Well, you can't raise your hand because of Greg. So if you know the answer, go ahead and tell me. Okay. But who has the most national championships? And if you know how many, if you don't know how many, that's okay. I can tell you that.
Are we talking just D1?
In D1, who has the most national championships?
Dom Sharjah.
Yeah. I'm going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just name the university. Just
Virginia.
name the school.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Dustin?
I'm going to go Syracuse.
You were all incorrect. And the answer is 44, by the way.
Okay.
Is this like modern era? Or is
yeah.
It goes all the way back to 1891, all the way to present time.
Hopkins.
Got to be one of the Ivy League schools.
Yeah. This program live. Yeah.
Okay. Well, who do you think number 2 is? And it's not Virginia, by the way.
No.
And it's not Syracuse.
Princeton.
Yeah. That's a good guess. I like that.
They're number 3.
What?
This one's going to be tough. This one is tough because I looked at it and went, what the hell?
Brown.
Navy.
No.
Navy.
Navy.
Oh, yeah, it is Navy.
Oh, yeah,
Michael,
Chris
stop
Navy.
it.
Navy?
Yeah.
No way.
So not to keep this going on and dragging on much longer, but yes, Princeton is 3, Syracuse is 4, Harvard's 5, and Maryland is tied with Harvard with 13 national championships. They're last in 2022. Before that, 2017.
Well,
all right. So, Greg, tell me, who is your pick to win the game tomorrow?
I mean, I'm a Terps guy through and through, but honestly, I think Cornell's going to get it tomorrow. I really do. I just feel like they're a more balanced team through and through, from offense down the. If Maryland can control the X, like Dustin said earlier, they'll have a good shot. But I don't know, man. I just feel like they're a more balanced team. And as much as I hate to say that, I would love the Terps to win, but I think Cornell's going to take it.
Very good. And Doug, what is your prediction?
So I'm going to go Maryland only because McNaney has, I'm going to say 18 saves tomorrow.
Nice.
Fair. And Dustin,
Doug,
if it's
I hope
anything,
you're right.
Me too.
And Dustin, if it's anything but Maryland, I'd be freaking shocked to probably fall off the chair.
No chance, guys. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, last weekend was the best weekend ever for me. I had my daughter win her championship, had my son win his championship, had Maryland, win in the semis or quarters. Like, I don't know, man. I think Maryland's hot, and it's going to be tough to stop that team. If McNaney plays lights out, there's no way they lose. Their face-off guy is better at the X.
I agree.
So, I mean, we'll see. It's going to, like I said, it's probably going to be a barn burner. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 goals, likely. If it isn't, then it's not a game. But that's what I see happening. And I think Maryland's better coached. I think they are. They got more experience,
Yep.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Dustin, I agree with you, even though I picked the other way.
It's not too soon to flip. You can flip. It's okay.
I'm not deflecting. I still think
you're right
I
anytime.
pick, but I agree.
Greg's like
with everything he
Switzerland.
said.
John, help Greg as his life coach. Come on, jump in here.
Yeah, Greg, it's all right. You can change your mind. Just do it before the end of the game. You can't do it during the game because then you'll lose all your friends.
I'm not changing my mind.
That's what betting on FanDuel is for.
I don't think it's going to go that way when it happens.
Wait,
Red or
wouldn't
black,
he be
boys.
Wouldn't he be getting all of his friends back, John, because he lost them all because he's choosing the other side already?
Yeah, but here's my question: do we know what color Maryland is wearing?
Ooh. Oh.
Because because you
red or
always
black.
bet on black.
Yeah,
So
probably
Maryland
black.
wears black.
Yep.
They're not the number 1 seed, so I
Nope.
I gotta assume
Cornell's
they're
wearing
not gonna be
white.
wearing white.
Nope. Yeah, they're probably wearing
red?
black on black.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh,
which I don't hate. It's gonna be
I
hot. Well,
love
no.
it, dude. I love that
Real-
matte black helmet. That matte black helmet's special.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, man.
So black on roulette is always good.
Right?
So
Exactly. So here we go.
That's why I asked, because it could be black or maybe red.
Could be red.
It
If
be-
double zero
could be
comes
red.
up, then we're all
You're not
screwed, but,
wrong.
Those are a bunch of liars. I have lost a lot of money playing roulette because black doesn't always win.
that's why I don't play roulette. I
Wouldn't be
always
doing this.
lose. Never have won. Ever.
All right, fellas. Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight to give us a little insight on what to expect tomorrow. Please don't be strangers. And if John, do you need to give Greg a hug? Like,
You might need a.
Yeah, Greg, you'll be okay, but it's just a game.
Yeah.
It's just a game, and
Like I
you'll be
said,
happy either way. You'll
Even
be
though I
happy
agree
either
with,
way.
even though I agree with Dustin, I'm still standing by my pick. I'm picking with my brain now, not my heart.
Okay, there you go. Or the nasty plate you just drank. It's all good.
You're gonna be
All right, well, I guess-
right.
we didn't give our prediction, Mike and John. I mean, what do you,
Oh,
John,
yes.
what do you think?
Come on, boys. What do you got?
What do you got?
I'll go with the Terps.
Okay.
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
you will.
I think the goalkeeping is going to end up being kind
There
of
you go.
what does it for us after
You the
talking with
goalie-
Doug a little. After talking with Doug a little bit before, and then trying to find clips of Maryland's defense, and we couldn't
They're
find
not
any.
sexy, dude. They're not sexy
No,
Not
they're
sexy,
not,
but I think the goalkeeping is going to favor Maryland.
for sure.
yeah.
Michael?
Somebody's going to win. I
Yeah.
that's my prediction.
Good job,
No,
Brad. That's it.
Yeah, right. I think. How about overtime? Can I predict that?
I would love it. That'd be okay with me.
So I'm going to predict overtime and Cornell.
Love it.
Oof.
But I am rooting for Maryland.
Ooh. I'm going to go with coaching, and I'm going to go with the University of Maryland.
There it is.
Heck yeah, boy.
Yeah.
iPad master.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
We'll go with
I like
that.
it. I like
Well,
it, boys.
fellas, thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
And again, good luck with the rest of your kids, I guess all your kids' games and whatnot. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
All right,
good.
boys.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you
guys.
having us on.
Thanks
Later.
for having me on.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you, boys.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
All right. Well, wasn't that a crazy circus? I love it.
Oh, that was
Chaos
awesome.
the better. Look
Yeah.
at you, Mike. Way to organize chaos. That's our offense.
It worked out well. I enjoyed actually listening to real lacrosse guys break down things because if the three of us were to have tried that, it would have sounded a lot different.
Oh,
I
that's
think
so
they
funny.
throw the ball to each other and catch it with the little stick and then try to run down the field and throw it in the goal. That's about
And
as
people
much
with
as
the
I
big
know.
stick try to hit them. Yeah.
I think the Indians created it, or Native Americans. Somebody did it back then. There, yeah, oh my goodness.
And one of the
Yeah,
greatest running backs in NFL history was actually a far better lacrosse player than he was a football player, but there's no opportunities. So, that's about as far as my knowledge goes.
This is fabulous. Well done. Way to bring on those special guests because we can't handle it. Love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I mean, we covered what was going on and whatnot. So I guess we should. You guys want to pivot to the O's? On
Absolutely.
A 2-game winning streak. And I am sorry to say, for all of you that were hoping I would have to wear a dress, the bet has expired. It expired on the 22nd of May. That was 1 month. Now, I may consider
New bet.
We'll discuss on Wednesday, but we might do that. Oh, and Wednesday, I believe we will have Jimmy on again to discuss the Belmont because I believe the Belmont horse race is next Sunday. So he'll be back on here to hang out with us probably the whole time, but to go over the Belmont and whatnot. But the O's.
It's June 7th. June 7th is when the Belmont is, Jason.
So that's not this
It's-
Saturday?
No, it's 3 weeks after.
So
the
they have
Preakness.
3 weeks. Oh, my
They have
fault.
3 weeks
Okay,
to the
so that'll
bell.
be next
That's
week.
what I thought. I just checked and verified. It is
Very,
it is 3
very well.
weeks.
So that'll be the following week.
Absolutely.
But
Put your Jimmy countdown on. Yeah.
you never know. He could he just pop up.
He has the link to access it. So you never
I know.
All these guys got the link now. Maybe we got to change that link.
John,
Well, the good news is
you're sharing
the good news-
things.
the good news is we've had quality guests, so I
Yes.
wouldn't mind
Yes.
any of these guys coming on again.
Correct.
Whatever.
Correct.
Oh man! All right,
But-
so tell me about
I'll
the
tell you
O's,
what.
John.
I'll tell you what. Today, the bounces are going the O's way today. This crap that happened today. Like, watch this clip. Listen to this clip.
That's in the air again to the alley. Abreu on the run. Nobody's going to get it. It drops between Abreu and Rafaela. Stop sign thrown up at third for Henderson, and the ball gets away in the middle of the diamond. Henderson breaks towards the plate. He's going to score. O'Hearn goes to third and start the circus music. O'Hearn is in to score.
It's over all the cutoff guys hit, and it hits off the back of the leg of O'Hearn. And when it does that, Henderson scores from third. My goodness, put a 10 over that circus out there.
That
Well done.
never happens to us. That's always us doing that stuff. So O'Hearn with the Little League inside the park home run. Did you see the look on his face when he got hit by the ball at second base? He's like, what just happened? And then he's like, maybe I should run. And the whole thing worked out, But we got good starting pitching. The last 2 days we've gotten outstanding starting pitching in both of the wins. And I think-
That's the key, man. Like I know you like to throw that three-inning circus, but when you have 5 1/3 and 6 1/3 of scoreless baseball from your starters, things tend to bounce your way.
I mean, you're right. That's the funny part about all this. It's like when things go bad, and whether it starts with pitching or striking out every time you get up to bat, when things are bad things happen. You don't get the bounces. Somebody makes a great play on the other side of the field. Well, now all of a sudden, You have Mateo out in the outfield. He's making great plays. Carlson's making great plays defensively, and things like that clip are happening. I'm not speaking out of turn. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this is the kind of things that start things rolling. So I don't know what that means. That could mean that they get swept by the Cardinals, or all of a sudden they win 5 and 6 in a row. And we slowly but surely are okay. But more people now are going to the games still. I'm just saying when stuff like this happens, you go into Boston against a team which I think is underperforming, because I think Boston is actually a really good team. And once they put everything together, maybe not this year, but the next couple of years, watch out, because they have things working out the way that they want, Mike. But again, when momentum's a funny thing.
Yeah, and I think having Alex Bregman out helps the Orioles tremendously too, for Boston. But the worry that I have is now our starter tomorrow is Charlie Morton. So, like, we talk about momentum being the next day's starting pitcher. My biggest concern is with Morton. But if you can get a 3 or 4 guys pitching well, start passing the baton a little bit, like Rogers did, and then he passed the baton today to Dean Kramer. Sagano's been pretty consistent. Eflin's back in the rotation. You have 4 guys probably who are capable of pitching well, at least 3 guys who are capable of pitching well on a regular basis. And hopefully you start turning the pitching around. I think once that confidence comes, that confidence will bleed into the rest of the team. And Kittredge was back this weekend, which was nice. And I feel like that's a big boost to the bullpen. Dominguez pitched pretty well this weekend for the most part. I know they had that 19-run game on, what was that, Friday or Saturday? What was it, Friday, right?
That was Friday.
It was supposed to be it was supposed to be a doubleheader, and then it got pushed again to Saturday for a doubleheader. Those are the concerning games. I don't mind losing a 1 and a 2 run game here or there. It's when you give up 19 at a time, that's kind of like, hey, we kind of gave up in that game. But that was in the 6th inning. I mean, it was competitive up until like the 6th inning of that game, but then it all went to pot. So I'm not sure what to think, Jason. I'm kind of in your camp. I could see how it could go both directions here. I'm hoping that it goes in the positive direction. Carlson played really well. He hit the ball well. Some of these guys who have been coming up and doing absolutely nothing. Ryan O'Hearn has been carrying this team, which is pretty amazing. But if you think about it, if Ryan O'Hearn can carry this team through a stretch, why can't Adley get hot and carry this team through a stretch, or Gunnar get hot and carry this team through a stretch? Because they really haven't done that. Cedric Mullins and O'Hearn really have been the 2 guys who've done that. The rest of the guys have yet to heat up. And then we have Calzer on the horizon, who should be starting to rehab here shortly, I think, in Aberdeen. I thought I heard that maybe next week.
It was on Saturday. It was Saturday, I thought.
Didn't was it Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started yesterday.
And then it looks like Westberg's supposed to be back like first week in June, hopefully. So within the next few days, hopefully. Now, the one thing I did not like is they were only, in my mind, watching the game, the first game Saturday of the doubleheader. They jumped out to a lead in that game, gave it back. And then at the end of that game, I guess a lot of folks were talking about not intentionally walking Devers. That one blows my mind. I get the lefty-lefty matchup. That I'm over the matchup crap. I really am. But that is one of the hottest hitters in baseball. I don't care. I mean, he's a professional hitter, and he's their best player offensively. So I don't care if you're left-handed, right-handed, or whatever. I think you walk that guy, John. I don't think you pitch to him.
Yeah, you have to. I think your analytics go so far, and then common sense has to kick in too. That, okay, lefty, lefty, righty, righty is good, but when a hitter's hot and a hitter's hot, you got to walk him. You can't be pitching to him. They're major league hitters for a reason. You're not. I mean, I know the next guy is just as good as the guy in front of him, but at any given time, one hitter is hotter than the other. And I get why, but you just can't pitch to a guy who's on seeing the baseball that way. Like, I can see teams now starting to, depending on where O'Hearn is, starting to pitch around O'Hearn a little bit. Moving on, like today, I think was Mullins after. I don't remember who was after O'Hearn, but O'Hearn, Urias was behind on O'Hearn today. So I could see teams starting to do that, but yeah, you got to pitch around him. You cannot give a hot hitter anything, or pitch him carefully and pitch nothing even near the strike zone and quote unquote intentionally, unintentionally walk him.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they would have won the game for sure there, because obviously we couldn't get any runs in the 10th on our side of the 10th, but it would have made, to me, it's a no-brainer. I don't know. I have no idea if they explained why they didn't do it or whatnot, but to me, it's a no-brainer on that one. Now, the other thing I want to mention, we can't not mention this, but the performance last evening by Trevor Rogers, and the fact that this is not going to be very popular, and it might bring up some more wounds for like Gimme and some other guys. But when the Orioles traded for Trevor Rogers, they gave up Kyle Stowers, they gave up Connor Norby, and everyone's looking at that as like this huge loss. And the one thing that I just kept thinking of the whole time that was going down is, why did they have to give those guys up to get this guy? What did they see and what do the Marlins not want to give him away without having to get? Now, the whole Norby thing is a wash to me, and Stowers was never going to play here, but I get it. Stowers is performing there, and he would be useful here if they could find room for him, which they should. But what I'm saying is, I really think that they went after this guy for a reason. They saw something, and he got here right away. They knew that he didn't have the impact immediately. He was hurt during the offseason on a lower body injury, but he did the whole drive line and all of that over the offseason, and he looked like a totally different guy, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing that I have, Jason, you talked about that performance, which was excellent, and if he can sustain that, he would maybe make that trade look a little bit better now. The other thought I had was roster-wise, with these guys coming back, I'm just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts are. They signed Cooper Hummel, a 30-year-old off of waivers today, who's an outfielder and also a emergency catcher. Adley kind of got dinged by a foul tip, got removed from the game today. I'm not sure if I don't know if you guys read if it's going to be concussion protocol or not. With Maverick Hanley batting a robust, 95 or something like that. Are we going to look to make a move catcher-wise? We're going to have to make some moves when Kalzer comes back. Is this finally the end of the line for Mateo? What are we going to do with Kjerstad? What do you guys are thinking with the roster? So, John, I'll start with you, and then I'll go to Jason.
Oh, John, you're muted, buddy.
John, you're muted, buddy.
Sorry. Didn't they sign him before the game? So I think that was a signing before Adley had anything, but I don't know if they're just not if they're just not confident, or
I'm not sure that move is related in any way. I'm just asking you what your thoughts are on the roster in general.
Yeah, I mean, with these other guys coming back, we're gonna have to either, who's gonna go down? Who's gonna go down? Kjerstad or I don't know, Carlson. I just don't know who it's going to be, but I think that they're trying to find some pieces to fit in there who are going to contribute, and then also they'll be kind of a little bit more veteran leadership than just bringing these guys up. I think that's kind of my take on that signing with what's his face. I think he was on the Astros. Astros released him, and then we signed him, but. And then we're going to have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do then with Basayo? What are we going to do with, we're not going to we only have so many times, I think, to bring up Kjerstad and then send him back down before he has to clear waivers and things. So I think you're just bringing that veteran, the more experienced veteran presence to try to calm this clubhouse down. I don't know if there's anything wrong with the clubhouse, but, bring that veteran in to give it a little bit more veteran leadership.
Was it a major league signing? Is he on the 40-man?
Yes.
I think you had to. I think he had to be.
He was on a minor league deal previously with the Yankees, and he opted out. And then he had some other minor league offers from some other teams, and then the Orioles jumped in at the last minute to sign him to a major league contract. It's like a $700 and some million or $1,000 contract, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, it had to be something they like about it. I don't know if it's a need-based thing, or maybe his defense is better than what Kjerstad can give you out there. What I'm noticing is that they're going more and more. Like Mateo played a ton in the outfield this weekend, and I'm wondering if that's it's either one of two things. They're either trying to showcase him to deal him, which I'm not so sure anyone's going to be that interested, or they're trying to get every ounce of talent that he has, and give your defense a better, because I mean he's much better defensively out there than Kerstead. I do think I don't think it's a logjam or an issue at all with the roster. Once Kauser comes up, whether it's Carlson or whether it's if Kerstad's struggling that bad, they'll put him down there. It doesn't make sense to me. Just play him as much as possible. The problem is Kerstad's not elevating the baseball. Like, I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but he hits the ball on the ground too much. I mean, if you look at his statistics, he needs to elevate the ball. And maybe that's going down the minor leagues and working on that. So I don't know. But as far as if the Adley thing is a long-term thing, I mean, maybe they push Basayo. But I don't know. But they have to make a corresponding roster move to do that because he's not on the 40-man. So that means getting rid of somebody else. Is it this new guy? I mean, usually it's the last guy in, first guy out type situation. Could be something to do with the bullpen. I don't know who has options out there. But I don't know. As far as things go now, it might just be, Mike, somebody just for emergency or just for defense. Because I don't even know who it is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, and Laureano's hurt too. He's on the 10-day DL with the sprained ankle. I forgot to mention that. And they just designated Vavra back to AAA. Sorry, for assignment. The question that comes to mind with me is Kerstad. You talked about how his defense is kind of not as great. He's not elevating the ball at the plate. I saw him make a spectacular play over the fence this week. I don't know if you guys saw the home run he basically robbed. And then he turned around a couple innings later, and there's like a waist-high line drive a couple steps to the side of him, and he drops it out of the glove. It's like you think he's making progress, and then it's kind of – he is who he is to me. Like, he's capable, but that doesn't mean you have the instincts to play outfield. So I think we're kind of getting a read on who this guy is. So the question is, do they like who he is, and do they stick with him, or are they ready to kind of move on from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what to me, like all of this is like a domino effect, because if they don't feel like Mountcastle is going to be someone that's going to be able to continually give them what he's capable of or what they thought he was, then I think the corresponding move is to either DFA or trade him. And then Kerstad goes to DH. O'Hearn plays first base all the time, or Mayo comes up and learns how to play first base. But first, that would need to happen in the minor leagues, in my eyes. But if the Orioles if this isn't a momentum gainer and they don't end up stringing a whole bunch of wins together, then maybe you start moving these guys around. I think John's talking to his agent, see if he can get on a different show. But
geez.
But yeah, Mike, I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on him. I do wonder if going down in the minors and focusing on elevating the baseball is the best bet, because when I see him out there and I'm like, okay, we need a fly ball or we need just a hard ball, it's a ground ball. And it doesn't strike out very much, but it's like they're just hard ground balls, and that's just not going to do it. And
yeah,
I don't know.
I think John's life coaching someone as my guess. I mean,
It's
why else
Jimmy.
would he have? He's got headphones and a cell phone. He's talking very animatedly to whoever he's speaking with. So I'm guessing there's a life emergency somewhere within his friend group, and he's just kind of doing what he needs to do there.
Well, Greg's messaging us here on Facebook. Greg, is he talking to you? Is this a life coach session? So this is probably. That's fine if it is. I'm
I understand.
Perfect. Well, yeah, like the other things I just wonder. Like I was really high on the Trevor Rogers start, because I think that if that turns out to be something, that really alleviates an issue, because Eflin still hasn't looked quite himself. Looks like someone that's coming back. And I mean, I always thought he was like more of a back end 2, high end 3 anyway. So it's so hard to I want to write this season off and say 60-some, 70 wins, but I don't know. I can't just get myself there to do it. So when Connor was here last week and he was talking about being sellers, I think they're sellers slash buyers, depending on the right situation. So you don't want to get a guy, you don't want to sell guys to get guys 3 or 4 years down the road. You want to get a guy that can come up here next year, in my mind. So that's your selling and buyers. Because right now, if you sell O'Hearn to a contender, like if this pans out, I think you get a decent haul back.
No, I mean the way he's performing, and you see this happen once in a while. It's the talent is here. There's a lot of talent here. It's not like they need to tear everything down and start from the baseline again and redo it. So, Jason, what you're saying about being buyers and sellers at the same time makes a lot of sense. But you're not trading for single A prospects. You're trading for guys who are almost major league ready to go, and that have a log jam somewhere, probably in a contenders minor league organization where they're not able to get in because that team's competing for a world championship, and that guy's not. We're not sure if he's ready to go. So that's the kind of guy you're trading for at the deadline if you're looking to trade, one of our veteran bats probably for somebody. The other thing would be just to stockpile some pitching. I know that position player wise, our minor league system's been pretty good. Pitching wise, I don't think we're quite as solid in that area. So, what a good time to stockpile some young arms.
Yeah. And, like the draft is going to be coming up here shortly. And I've heard a lot of the experts that I have a lot of respect for saying that maybe this is a year that they take college-ready pitching. I'm not 100% sold on it because the one thing that I've learned from being a Ravens fan and even an Orioles fan in the last few years is I think you just take the best available talent you could possibly take. And the Orioles, I think, have a bunch of picks, early picks. And, I mean, just start taking guys and see what happens. Get college bats, get pitchers, whatever. But then you take these college bats because you have a lot of them and you trade for pitching and you do things that they haven't yet been able to do. So like it drives me crazy because every week we come on here and it's like we're either really pissed off and we want to yell at like Elias, or we said, how could they drop this routine fly ball, blah, blah, blah. And then we come in today after they just won 2 games. So I would really love to come in here on Wednesday after they just won 4 or got done winning 4 or 5 straight. So that'd be great.
That would be absolutely amazing. And the other thing, it's just the inconsistency you hear about. I'm listening to MLB Tonight and stuff like that, and you listen to all these broadcasters who are nationwide talk about the Orioles, and sometimes they liken them to like the White Sox in 2020, where like they had this nucleus and they didn't build on it, and then they kind of felt. I don't see that at all. I don't see them anything like the White Sox. And then there's the guys who liken them to those Astros teams where they added Verlander and these guys, and now they're competing for world championships. I think we're somewhere in between. I think we still need some of those pieces. I don't think we need a complete rebuild. I don't know what the rest of this season is going to look like, but what they need to do is make the best of this bad situation and use it to create some momentum moving forward. I think that's the best answer.
Hey, I had a question for
okay?
you. Yeah, my wife isn't here, and I thought I had to go check on my kids. So question. Do you guys think that they're going to be giving Mateo, after he played better defense, giving him some more time in center field because they're looking to deal Mullins before the trade deadline?
Well, I think that's kind of irrelevant to the fact that because I think Cowser would step in and play would play center field. I mean, Mateo played left field today. So the fact that he can play anywhere in the outfit, I don't know that if they will just go ahead and trade Mullins if things start turning around, or maybe they do because they get a really good deal for him, which they should take, by the way. As much as I like Mullins, if they're not going to sign him, they should go ahead and make sure they get something back that's going to be better, because they're not going to offer him the pick, because he probably would come back for the $25,000 that he would probably get, because I don't think he's getting that out there. Maybe I'm wrong, but no, John, I don't think it has any correlation to specifically trading Mullins. I do think that they were trying, that Mansolino actually, what I noticed this weekend was 2 things. One, that he might have more control over the lineup than I initially thought he would. And 2, defense first. He put Carlson out there. Was a big, he made a point that back in Milwaukee that Carlson was going to play more, and he was going to, and since he's starting to play well. And then by putting Mateo out there, he's saying Mateo is our 4th or 5th best outfielder, which I would agree right now over what else, over O'Hearn, over Kerstad Mike.
What a great point. I think defense first has been the change as well. I also think they're trying to figure out things a little bit about Mateo and, if he belongs with the team long term. They're giving him one last chance to see if he can kind of play in the outfield. I'm with Jason. I don't see that as a Mullins maneuver. I just see that as a Mateo trying to see if he's still got any gas in the tank out there in the outfield. With Mullins, I'm with you. I think we trade him, Jay, if there's a good deal out there to be had. He could still come back and re-sign with us next year. I mean, there's always that possibility. Like you said, I don't know he's going to get a great deal on the open market. And, that kind of signing wouldn't cost us that much, especially with Rubenstein having some money to spend. So I see it possibly a win-win. Those are those kind of win-win situations that you can end up in accidentally when this stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be to a contender. I don't think they'll flip him to Chicago for Luis Robert or anything like that, and then be like, "Oh, good luck, Cedric. Love you." No, so he has a chance to win a ring, and then come back here and look. I mean, I know they're a great team, but the Dodgers might be in the market for a center fielder at some point. I know they throw guys and rotate them around out there, but if you can just be like, "Here's Cedric Mullins," holy crap, and there's your ring, and then you come back here or figure out where you're going to go. But again, as I say every week, we could talk about the O's all night long, good, bad, and indifferent. But Mike, I think it's your turn to be the super, super awesome host of our super fun trivia game, the world's best trivia game.
This is called Who Am I? And Jason is the inventor of this game, which is why he loves it so much. And I know who I am personally, but I am trying to pretend that I am a famous sports athlete from one of the sports teams locally or nationally. And then I give these clues and they're worth points. Jason, do you want to explain the point value real quick?
Yeah. So it's a tiered system where when we ask there's 3 different categories, usually Orioles, Ravens, or Orioles, Terps, whatever. And then a third category. And the first 2 categories are 5 points for the first clue. And it's usually the most vague, not as much information. And then 4 points for the second, third, 2, and 1. And if you get the 5-pointer wrong, it's -3. If you get the 4 and the 3-pointers wrong, it's -2. And if you get the other ones wrong, it is -1. And then the last category, everything is doubled. Is that clear?
All right.
Everyone good?
That is clear to me.
And you got to raise your hand. You have church hands or arrested by the police in Baltimore.
So I need to see some hands in the air as if you don't care or you're a true player or something like that. All right. So the first one is going to be Ravens, boys. Okay. The first one is Ravens. Ravens, boys. All right. The first clue. I played college football at Southern Illinois University and later returned there to complete my degree in economics.
I didn't even know they had a football team at Southern Illinois. All you ever hear about is their basketball team is always in the NCAA tournament.
Are they the
5?
The Salukis.
They're Salukis. Yeah. 4.
I should get a
3. You're just trying to distract me. You don't know the answer. 2.
I don't know the answer.
And 1. All right. So this next one is worth 4 points, right, Jason?
You got it.
Or negative something if you get it wrong.
-3.
All right. There we go. All right. I was an undrafted rookie in the 2002 NFL draft with the Ravens.
Oh, crap. I'm going to go for
5. Go ahead, Jason. Your hand's up.
Ladarius Webb.
Not correct. Sorry. So you got negative something.
-3.
Good. You make the points, and I'll just agree, okay? Yeah, I think he was. All right. John? 3, 2. All right. Number 3. I was a 2006 Pro Bowl selection. with 9.5 sacks.
Oh, crap.
Oh,
Oh, poopy pants.
I can't.
This is for 3 points. 5, 4,
Oh, I know who it is.
3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Oh.
All right. After retiring from football in 2013, I served as an analyst for CBS Sports.
Oh, my gosh. What was the last clue?
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last clue for 1 point. This NFL linebacker started with the Ravens with his career from 02 to 08 and finished with the Jets from 09 to 12. Jason.
Bart Scott.
That is correct. 1 point for you.
-2.
All I gotta do is not answer anything.
You're slowly digging out of the hole, Jason.
Don't you
well
worry.
Done.
Not nervous.
All right, John is leading 0 to -2.
Was he a multiple-time Pro Bowler or just the one?
Just the one I found.
Wow,
Again,
that's funny.
I quick researched that one, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. All right, this next one is a Maryland Terps basketball.
Oh, sorry, John.
Maryland Terps basketball.
Well, I'm just gonna let you guess, so you're so far negative.
I know. I'm gonna
double.
I'm
Even a
screwed.
double point won't help you.
I'm very nervous.
Don't give him your strategy, John. All right.
Strategic.
First clue worth 5 points. I attended Governor Thomas Johnson High School in Frederick, Maryland, where I led the Patriots to the Maryland Class 3A state championship in 1997.
Not allowed to ask questions.
5. There's no questions. 4.
There's no
3. 2.
Frederick.
And 1. All right, go on. 4-pointer, which is not a thing in real sports. I was part of the FC Barcelona team that won the EuroLeague championship in 2010. Again, basketball.
How many negative is this if you
-3.
Negative 3, John.
Join the
5.
club. It's fine, John.
4. 3.
Man, that's gonna piss me off.
2. 1. Time. All right, here we
You
go.
realize how hard these are until you actually are no longer the host.
Yeah. Clue number 3. All time for Maryland, this player is second in career blocks with 256, fifth in career rebounds with 925, and 10th in career points with 1,733. John.
is it Lonnie Baxter?
Oh,
No, that is incorrect.
Oh, yay!
Is that -2? What is that?
Yeah.
Negative-
Yeah,
So we're
-2.
tied.
You are
-2 to
tied at
-2.
-2.
Oh, now I gotta
5.
remember the years that he said again.
4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. Fourth clue. So this one's worth 2 points. In the 2001 NBA draft, I was selected by the Atlanta Hawks with the 33rd pick. My draft rights were immediately traded to the Houston Rockets, where I played from 2001 to 2003. Jason.
Stevie Francis.
Nope.
Wait, why did I say
Mi-
Stevie Francis? I said blocks.
-1.
Yeah.
01 was after Francis.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Francis was the
2000.
16th overall pick, or no? He was like the
No,
12th
he was the number
overall
2 pick. I see. I wasn't listening to any of this stuff.
It's okay.
pick. Okay.
All right. John, you want to guess on this level or you need my last clue?
Need your last clue.
All right. This is the 1-pointer. This could be for all the marbles. So what are you at, Jason? -3?
-3.
And John, you're at -2. You're up by 1, John. You could just stay pat. But if Jason gets this right, it could be a tie right now. All right.
Tie.
I played college basketball for the University of Maryland, From 1997 to 2001, I was a standout player, earning all ACC honors and helping the Terps reach the NCAA Final Four in 2001.
I'm gonna make a guess for 1 point.
Wow, John, go ahead.
It's not Laron Prophet.
No, you are now at negative
We're
3.
tied.
Oh, I want to guess. But I don't think it's right. So I'm not guessing. But I want to guess.
No?
I want to tell you what it is after that.
Okay, so not guessing. So this is unofficial now. You
Wait,
get
it wasn't
0
Mike
points.
It wasn't Mike Martizich, was it?
No, it was
Good, thank God.
Terrence Morris.
Oh, that was the other. That was.
See,
It was like Laron Prophet or Terrence Morris.
It screwed me up because I was thinking blocks. I was thinking big guy, and it screwed me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hate it.
he's a semi-big guy, but not that big.
Yeah, he's a 3.
He was-
a 3-4.
Yeah, he was long and lanky. Yeah, 3-4 guy. All right.
All right.
Well, Jason, what's our point standings here?
-2 to -2. Oh, -3 to -3.
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. The last category. I don't know if this is going to get any better, but I think you guys can do it. I think you guys
Clearly,
can do
you
it.
don't. You are a bad liar.
I believe in you. No, this. You got this. All right.
That's so bad.
NFL is the category.
Oh,
NFL is the category, and this is more global. All right. I was the first overall pick in the 2000 NFL draft. John, give me your church hands. I don't see your other hand.
Oh, you are a dirty, dirty cheater.
You were cheating.
No, I was not cheating. My hands.
You were on Chat MTV again.
My hands were on the.
My chat was on MTV.
Things.
All right, John.
You said 2000 number 1.
You don't have an
overall.
answer. 5.
Oh, yeah, but you raised your
4,
hand. No, he
I
raised his
didn't.
hand.
3. Oh, he'll get negative points. 3,
Yeah.
I'll just take
2.
It wasn't It wasn't David Carr. That was
No.
2002.
I award you negative. What is it? Double negative.
Oh, I know who it is.
Well, guess what, poopy pants?
What is
Now
negative
you have
double, Jason?
Oh, it's
Negative
-10.
6.
It's -8.
-6.
No,
Negative
you
eight.
get minus
-8.
-4.
Negative
yeah.
8.
No,
All
no,
right.
you're right, John. John, I'm sorry. You're right. It's -3. So
Yeah.
yes, -6.
Yeah, negative
You are
6.
down to. So hold on.
Negative
wait,
9.
Before we move on. So
You got negative 9. Negative 9 and negative 3. All right.
So this next
Number
one
2.
is what? 8 points.
Sure.
Yes, 8 points. 8 points.
This was a unanimous All-American in 1999. Had 33 career sacks and 70 tackles for a loss, both among his school's best in history. John.
Courtney Brown, Penn State University, Cleveland Browns first overall selection.
Yes, that is correct. Jeez. Jason, were you there? I didn't even get to do my good clues.
No.
He played alongside LeVar Arrington in college, and played for Cleveland and Denver before retiring in 2005 due to chronic injury.
So that brings John to -1 and me to -3. Because I did
I
not
win.
answer any more questions.
All right, John. Bask in your victory. I'm not sure it was that amazing, but enjoy
I'll
the
be
moment.
Right. Yep. I will.
Oh, my
Actually,
goodness.
that's 3 in a row.
Oh, blind squirrels, John. Blind squirrels. So we'll have to keep John going next week since he has won 3 in a row. And all this means is I'm just going to have to make my questions even harder. I was trying to take it easier on you guys. Goodness gracious.
So
Why
I'm gonna
keep
keep
brutal?
us. I'm gonna keep. Where's he going? He's everywhere tonight. Oh, I think it's because his wife just put a comment in the chat that he needs to put his child to bed. I don't know if you saw that. I think John erased it somehow, but I saw it.
No worries. It's all good. Okay. So you wanted to discuss our next segment was on the flag football in the Olympics. And you wanted us to come up with our team based on the prediction. Who was it that you sent us one earlier Do you know who that was?
Yeah, it looks like it was Sports Nation. I'll read off what they have, and then maybe we can come back and figure it out. So right now, Sports Nation has for quarterback Lamar Jackson, wide receiver Justin Jefferson and Malik Neighbors, center, which is more of like a tight end, I guess they're eligible, would be George Kittle, and then a wide receiver / running back is the last offensive position, and they had Brian Thomas Jr. from Jacksonville, and then defensively. They had 2 defensive backs or corners, Demario Davis and Cooper DeJean. Safeties, 2 of those, Derwin James and Jesse Bates. And then I guess that might be like a rover or something like Rusher, okay. Rusher, that's probably what it is. And they had Andrew Van Ginkel from the Minnesota Vikings.
Got it. So not to throw like a monkey wrench into this, but Lamar apparently came out today saying that he wasn't really interested in playing in the Olympics. So that would have been my pick because that skill set itself is very good for the for flag football. So if I had to pick a quarterback, just based off of that, I would go with Jaden Daniels. That would be my pick for quarterback. As far as receiver goes, I know Jefferson already said he wanted to play. That's perfect. That I have no arguments against that. I would also Malik Neighbors is the perfect, besides like Zay Flowers, and Malik Neighbors is a better Zay Flowers in my mind. That is the perfect type of receiver for flag football. Center position / tight end. Yeah, George Kittle's. I get that. I like maybe one of these younger type players, maybe, but. George Kittle probably only time he'll get to play in the Olympics. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. But also a good pick like Sam Laporta would be a good pick if they wanted to go with someone like that. I'll do the offense and then we can each do the offense and we'll go from there. Wide receiver, running back, Brian Thomas. I like Brian Thomas a lot. I do. But I think Zay Flowers here would be even better. Because, again, you're playing flag football. And I think that type of player with Malik Neighbors is just like a game changer. So, Mike, I don't know what you think.
Yeah. Your thoughts are. No, I agree on a lot of yours and kind of with the consensus. But Lamar was the guy I picked for quarterback. And I did this regardless of whether or not they were interested. I just was trying to think of if I was going to put my best team out there. So I had Lamar. I think just what he does scrambling and throwing and, into tight windows, he would be amazing. Justin Jefferson, you can't argue with that one. I had Jamar Chase as my other wide receiver. I just think he knows how to get open all over the field. I just watched the Ravens try to cover him every year. It's like a nightmare, a recurring nightmare over and over again. Center, I like what you were saying about a young guy, Jason, but I chose somebody different. I chose Brock Bowers. From Oakland. I think he would be an excellent choice there. He kind of is a tight end mold and is fast enough, but long enough to kind of have that rangy catch radius. And then I went with a running back for that wide receiver running back position. One of the best pass receiving running backs is Bijan Robinson, and that's the guy I chose to kind of fill out my offensive squad.
I would like to change my running back receiver to Jamar Chase, and I would like to go with Jefferson, Neighbors, and Chase. Because that's freaking ridiculous.
I know,
John.
I was kind of thinking a lot of the same, like the similar path as you, Jason. Like I think Lamar would be good, but he said he's not going to. So I was thinking that Jaden Daniels would be a good athletic quarterback for that. Then with the wide receivers, Justin Jefferson would be freaking awesome, along with Malik Neighbors. Both those guys would just athletic, large catch radiuses, gonna throw the ball up, and both of them can, Jefferson more so than Neighbors, but they come down with it. Then my center, I thought likely would be a great guy to put there at the center sort of tight end position, who's quick. He's I think flag football is more about quickness than it is about speed. And he's a little bit smaller than the George Kittles, than, the Mark Andrews and Brock Bowers, a little bit smaller than them. But he also has, huge vertical, very, very athletic. And I think he would be great in that spot. And then let's see. I liked Flowers then for that running back receiver spot. I think the shiftiness and the short burst of speed will be great because that's more so what flag football is about, is the shiftiness and the quickness. And you see some of those catches against Pittsburgh last year where he had guys like tripping over each other. I think would be great for flag football for him.
Fabulous. All right, so we want to do the defensive end. Who wants to go first?
Why don't you go first, Jason?
Ooh, that's fun. Okay. So right away on the cornerbacks, I disagree highly with these two clowns, DeMario Davis and Cooper DeJean.
Hey, I nixed those guys too.
Oh, I mean, it's not even a question. Like, I'm like, why are these guys there? I mean, Cooper DeJean, everyone's, he wins the Super Bowl. He's a white dude. Okay, cool. Let's put him on a flag football team. No. So we're going to go with Patrick Surtain, and we're going to go with Sauce Gardner. And I have nothing else to say about other than the fact that they are the two best cornerbacks in the NFL. But you know what? Without being a homer, I think Nate Wiggins his ability to stay with players in flag football, that would be crazy. So he might be somebody that finds himself on a team somewhere. I do love the Derwin James pick at safety. And then Jesse Bates I like too. But I would think Jalen Ramsey could get away with playing that safety position as well. So I think Derwin James and Jalen Ramsey in there over Jesse Bates. And then the last one, what was the last one on here? Okay, the edge rusher, I don't know. It's got to be someone that's really fast. It can't be like the best rusher in the NFL, like Myles Garrett or somebody, because he's too big. It takes him too long to get there. I don't know.
And they have to be able to spy the quarterback a little bit. It's not always just rush, I think.
So maybe it's one of those safeties. Maybe it is Jalen Ramsey, or maybe it is someone, but you can block in flag football. So you do have to be able to, like Dwight Freeney in his prime would be perfect for this, like somebody like that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Van Ginkel then, if that's what we're doing. And I like the name. It's fun.
I substituted a couple different corners or defensive backs. I like Marshawn Lattimore. I think just his attitude, his physicality, the way he would bring that. Think about him as like Captain USA defense, man. That would be fantastic. Just the kind of attitude, the ferocity with which he plays that position. And then I actually picked Travis Hunter. I'd be curious to see him stick and he could also maybe play some offense. Who knows how that would go both directions? How cool would that be as my second corner?
Is this like the dream team had to have Christian Leitner on their team type of thing?
It might be. It might be. And you know what? You floated the idea of using a defensive back as a safety. I did the same thing, but I took Sauce. He's 6'3".
Yeah.
I think he could kind of play that safety role. And then I have Derwin James as the other safety. And the guy I picked as the kind of rusher guy is Fred Warner from San Francisco. I think he can cover. I think he can rush. I think he's got good speed side to side. I think he would be a good guy there in that R role.
Agreed. And John?
I like the Surtain and the Sauce at the cornerback position. I think those two guys would be fantastic there.
Is that the soup of the day, Surtain and the sauce?
I would like the Surtain and the sauce, please, with some
Yes.
side crackers.
Yes.
That's Cooper
Yeah.
DeJean.
Yeah, right.
Oh
right.
my God. It's so true. So true.
And then for my safeties, I do like the Derwin James and the Jesse Bates picks from this guy from wherever we got this. I think those would be good, but I mean I could see, another cornerback of some sort going there, like a Quinyon Mitchell or something, going to that slot. And then for my rusher, that's a tough one because I'm like, okay, like what kind of person are we looking for? Like if we're going for like a linebacker who's quick, I would say, Fred, like the Fred Warner or something would be great. But yeah, we'll just go with Fred Warner. I think he'll be He'll be a good rusher, good quarterback spy.
Wait,
and
so
that's if you can't get like Kyle Hamilton. If Kyle Hamilton's going to play for South Korea.
that's so funny you just said that, because that's who I was just thinking. I was thinking I'd be cool if you could get Hamilton, that'd be perfect for that position there.
But he and Kyler Murray have already both come out and said they'll play for South Korea if they're going to do it. So that'll be very interesting. How would you call? So like if Kyle Hamilton and Kyler Murray go play for South Korea with some like actual South Koreans, like how do you call plays in the huddle? Like that'd be very interesting.
That's true.
Like the other players from South Korea, like Win One Soon. You heard about him too?
Is he a kicker?
I think so.
Win one soon. Isn't that the Orioles? They need to win one soon.
I would love that to happen. Well done, John, with your Korean father jokes.
Or maybe that was a Chinese. Maybe that was a Chinese. But they're all about the same. Win One Soon. I think that's the running back.
Oh my god!
I think that we've insulted enough people for the day.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Hold
Jason,
on,
got anybody else?
Let me get Greg and these other guys back up here, and then we can assault some more people. Where's Dustin? What's he doing right now? Oh my god! All right, so I guess we have to do our second favorite trivia game of all time, the Blast from the Past. That's when we play a trivia game amongst the three of us. In case you've been under a rock or never listened to us before, we try to guess Oriole players that the other guys come up with for us that we may have forgot played for the Orioles at some point and may or may not have had a big impact on them or whatnot. So do you guys have your players?
Absolutely.
Well, that's fun, John. I'm so happy for you. All right. Would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Now, this guy has played more than like 5 minutes in a game, right?
Yes. You should get this one fairly quickly because it's.
I hate when you say that.
It's fairly easy. Okay, so he had made his MLB debut August 2nd, 2000, for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and then he made his last appearance October 3rd, 2012, for the Giants in the regular season. He won the World Series with the Giants in 2012. 278 hitter, 242 home runs, 904 runs batted in. He played for the Orioles from 2007 to 2009. For the Orioles, he was primarily a designated hitter, although he did play a little bit of first base. Throughout his career, he played first base, DH, third base, and right field. In 2007, he signed a 3-year contract with the Orioles, but only hit 15 home runs, his lowest total since 2001. 2008, he won the Silver Slugger for the designated hitter, hitting .304 with 32 homers and career-high 108 RBIs for the Orioles.
What were the years again?
2007 through July of 2009. He batted left and threw right.
Was it Luke Scott?
No.
He played for Houston too.
He won 2 world champions.
I didn't know if he won that.
He won two World Series with the Giants, where he was primarily a backup first, third, and baseman and outfielder. He went to the University of Miami. He was drafted in the 6th round by the Devil Rays in 98 and debuted in 2000.
Is he bald, John?
He is not.
Okay.
What the hell?
I just asked a question, Jason.
Oh my god.
It's a free country. For now.
Oh god. Are you sure?
Yeah, he's in 2007. He signed a 3-year, $20 million contract with the Orioles.
Aubrey Huff. It's Aubrey Huff.
Yeah, Aubrey
It is
Huff.
Aubrey
Yes.
Huff.
Yes.
I hate that guy. That's why I blocked him out of my mind. He guy's a scumbucket.
Oh, okay.
No church hands and all.
I thought you would get him pretty.
Would you say you had church hands?
Yeah.
I hated that guy.
All right, my turn.
Jason, did he play long enough for the Orioles for you?
Oh yeah, thank God you got that one right.
He had a bad attitude. All right,
Yeah,
here we go.
was in the
He
poopy
also
face.
had like the late 90s like hairdo with the blonde highlights and stuff.
All right, my guy was mainly a left fielder. Look at that. I'm telling you position, like right off the bat. That's kind of cool, huh? And he was drafted by the Padres in the 8th round of the 87 draft, but then by the Twins in the 10th round of the 89 draft.
Okay.
You got it? Or you got it?
No,
You
I
understand it?
No, I
yeah.
understand what you're saying. I don't know the
All
player
right.
yet.
His career spanned from 1995 to 2003, so it was not a long career. He played for the Twins, Blue Jays, Indians at that point, and Orioles. His time in Baltimore was between 2002 and 2003.
Oh.
He let's see. In 2002, he batted 253. In 2003, he batted 233 in limited appearances, but mainly 2002, where he played in 131 games.
He's mainly playing left field for us.
Yes. And he was the 1995 AL Rookie of the Year.
Marty Cordova.
That is him.
I've already used him, by the way.
Well, you didn't get him that quick if you already used him.
Well, because I was like, that's why I didn't get him. I didn't guess him.
Right. We should really print off a list and like check off the guys that we use.
Yeah, because there was another one that John did that I had done previously, but it happens.
Yeah. It's all good.
There's only so many guys who like were only short-term Orioles, you know.
I mean, we might have to go back a couple years for now on too. Like, I'm okay with not making it like we could stay in the 80s if you guys want, or even go into the 70s. I don't really care. Okay. My feller. He made his debut in the majors in 2000 with the San Diego Padres. He also played with the Colorado Rockies, the Baltimore Orioles, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Chicago Cubs. He actually finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting in 2002 after winning 15 games, losing 9 with a 3.57 ERA. Any guesses yet?
Was he a reliever or a starter?
He was a starter. For the Orioles, he won 15 games, 14 games, 15 games again, and 9 games, and 7 games.
I was used on the Orioles for 5 years, you said?
Twas, Jonathan.
5 years. So Padres.
Where'd you say he finished his career?
In the Cubbies. This fella also lost 18 games for the Orioles once, and 16 games for the Diamondbacks.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
There's a name in the back of my head, but I know it's not.
What were the years he was with the Orioles?
2002 to 2006.
Bad years. Very
The
bad
poopy years is how they are referred to on the
Yeah.
show.
The poopy years.
Oh, let's see what else. No all-star appearances or anything like that.
Any other reason we would know this guy?
Yes, he was
Or
the ace of the Orioles from 2002 to essentially 2006.
Isn't Rodrigo Lopez, is it?
It is Rodrigo Lopez.
It is
Are you happy that you needed that clue, John?
Well, no,
Yes.
I mean, he was in my mind. He was in my mind earlier, but I do not remember him playing for the Cubs. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, that me either. I remembered him. I remembered him going from the Orioles, but I don't remember him playing for the Cubs.
Well, that's only because he didn't play much with the Cubs. He was like 6-6, and then 0-1 his last year. It wasn't a lot. And he didn't do well either. He had like a 4.5 ERA, blah, blah, blah. 26 games with the Cubs, 29. So.
The only other guy I could think of from that era was Jason Johnson.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Things weren't good back then, boys.
It was him, Rodrigo Lopez, and Sidney Ponson.
Oh, what about Cabrera, though?
Danny Cabrera.
Oh, yeah.
Almost pitched a perfect game. I had to pull the car over and run into a bar to watch the end. And then all of a sudden they get a base hit. I was so mad.
But that was the problem. If you had stayed in the car, it would have been a perfect game.
I'm not that superstitious,
Jinxed it.
John.
I'm very superstitious.
Hey, look, this episode was super exciting. We had 6 guys on here at once. That's never happened before.
That's true.
Don't go. Just leave it there, Jason. We had that happen. And then we had John get chastised by his wife in the chat for not putting his kids in bed. That was amazing.
Wait, where was that? How did I miss that?
We have multiple video clips.
That's because he deleted the posts after they went up.
Oh, okay. Wait. We're not finishing this episode till I know exactly what was said. And everyone else. So tell us what was said.
Oh my gosh. She said John was being negligent basically for not putting his child in bed. And then I had made a comment about him erasing it. And she said, absolutely, that's what he did.
Okay, look, raise your hand if you have not gotten yelled at for letting your kids stay up too late. No.
Oh no, I've got yelled at.
We all have gotten yelled at.
Yeah, because she went to Sarasota. She went to Sarasota with her friend, and we had to record the podcast. So
as she should, John. As she should. She deserves some time away, especially.
I turned the movie on, and I was gonna let the kids stay up till 11, and then go put them to bed if she wasn't home.
Yeah. You guys are done with school, right? Also,
it's summertime. We don't.
Oh yeah, and tomorrow nobody has school tomorrow. I have to work. That's why
I know nobody does up here, but we still have school left. You guys are done though.
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Friday was it for us.
Yep.
Well,
I gotta work. I gotta work tomorrow though, from 8 to 6.
Oh, that's right. Memorial Day is a big day. All right, Mike, you want to close this out?
No, because John's wife's still posting, which is amazing. Thought you were going to be done at 10:30, John.
Okay, Lynette, have you not watched or listened to any of these podcasts? Because we are never done by 10:30.
Well, I was thinking tonight might be the first one because we didn't have a lot on our list to talk about, and we brought all the lacrosse people on. So
you never know what to expect. We are going to be full of it. We're going to keep doing stuff like this every week. So you wait till Wednesday.
All right, boys, I'm going to wrap it up. That's going to do it for this episode of Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. Don't forget to subscribe on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're at it, please leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Be sure to follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes action, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at dadbods_crabcakes_sports on Instagram and at dadbods crab cakes and sports on our Facebook page. If you have a question or topic you'd like us to cover, hit us up at dadbodscrabcakesandsports@gmail.com. You never know, we might just shout you out in our next episode. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.
Adios.
Hasta la vista.